This is The Scoop for Monday.
I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines. A federal appeals court on Friday upheld the constitutionality of a Florida law that raised the minimum age to purchase rifles and other long guns from 18 to 21. The 8-4 ruling came 7 years after the National Rifle Association's challenge to a 2018 law passed after a 19-year-old used a semi-automatic rifle to carry out a mass shooting at Parkland's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School that killed 17 students and faculty members. Friday's ruling upheld a 3-judge panel's decision for determining how to apply the Second Amendment under the law. People under 21 cannot buy rifles and long guns, but they can still receive them as gifts from family members, for example. A federal judge has rejected a request to block a 2024 Florida law aimed at keeping children off some social media platforms, ruling that industry groups did not show they had legal standing to challenge the measure. Chief U.S. District Judge Mark Walker on Thursday issued a 13-page decision denying a motion for a preliminary injunction filed by the Computer and Communications Industry Association and Net Choice, whose members include tech giants such as Google and Meta platforms. The groups contend the law, which is one of the biggest issues of the 2024 legislative session, violates First Amendment rights. The Trump administration has transferred hundreds of immigrants to El Salvador. The immigrants were deported after Trump's declaration of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798, which has been used only 3 times in U.S. history. The judge said he had to act because the deportations may actually violate the U.S. Constitution because the immigrants deserved a chance to have their pleas heard in court. Tim Padgett reports one deportee may be the client of a Miami attorney who insists he's no criminal.
Last month, Franco Jose Caraballo of Venezuela went to an asylum application appointment in Texas. Immigration agents said his tattoo looked like one worn by the criminal Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, so they detained him. Caraballo's attorney, Martin Rosenau of Coconut Grove, says he has no criminal record in the U.S. or in Venezuela, but he fears Caraballo is among the 238 alleged Tren de Aragua members deported to El Salvador, even though a federal judge ordered that flight to be halted.
I'm nauseous about it. We fight for our clients' civil rights, and we're taught to abide by the Constitution, and this is just a flagrant violation of everything we know.
In a statement, Secretary of State Marco Rubio defended the deportations as a historic measure to make America safer. But Rosenau fears Caraballo's case, at least, simply reflects President Trump's demonization of immigrants.
I see fellow Americans celebrating this as a major success when it's a travesty. Because of that conflation of Venezuelans all being portrayed as criminals.
Trump last month canceled deportation protections for hundreds of thousands of Venezuelan migrants. I'm Tim Padgett in Miami.
A measles outbreak in the U.S. calls for a refresher on how to stay healthy for all ages. Carrie Barber has details.
A measles outbreak is growing in the United States. Texas recently saw the first childhood death from the disease in 10 years, and the number of cases across the country continues to climb. The Centers for Disease Control reports that the childhood measles vaccination rate has dropped to 90%, which contributes to the uptick in cases. Dr. Mary Beth Saunders, an infectious disease specialist with Lee Health, comments on where the percentage should be, according to the CDC, to prevent infection.
They like to see it around 95%. And so with that decline in the number of children who've been vaccinated, we have a greater risk for the overall population.
Measles is extremely contagious and can lead to hospitalization, pneumonia, neurological problems, and even death. It's not only dangerous for children, but also for pregnant women, the elderly, anyone who's immune compromised, and international travelers. Dr. Saunders goes on to say that the measles vaccine has a long track record of being safe and extremely effective.
If your children is vaccinated, they estimate after 2 vaccines, they're 97% protected.
Older people may need a measles booster based on their age. People born before 1957 have immunity because they were likely infected with the live disease of measles. Those born after 1957 who were vaccinated before 1968 should talk to their doctors about being revaccinated. That's because the vaccine administered before 1968 was less effective than the one developed and administered later. I'm Carrie Barber.
Sunny skies today, but cooler weather with highs in the upper 60s. Clear skies tonight with overnight lows in the upper 40s. Sunny skies tomorrow with highs in the upper 70s. I'm Josh Holton with the WMNF News headlines.
This is The Scoop, recorded at WMNF Tampa.